How is your fundraiser going this year? If it's anything less than amazing, it's time to talk to Shawn Murphy at FanPledge. No product to sell, nothing to deliver, and guaranteed results. Raise at least 10% more than your current donation based fundraiser, or it's free. Fun, fast, proven. Call Shawn at 903-948-7348. FanPledge. The champions are already on board. Are you? Band Yap is proudly sponsored by Troubadour Consultants. When it comes to planning group travel for your fine arts program, look no further than Troubadour Consultants. Whether you're organizing a major out-of-state trip or need top-notch accommodations for the state marching contest, John Mize and his team are ready to create a custom travel experience that meets your band's unique needs. As a family-owned, band director-run company, Troubadour understands exactly what it takes to make your trip stress-free and seamless. Plus, when you book a trip with Troubadour, they will sponsor a $500 college scholarship for a student in your band. Directors who book will also receive a free Mollard baton as a special thank you. Visit troubadourconsultants.com today to start planning your next trip with the experts who truly get it. That's going to be the title of the episode. This is Unhinged.
Unhinged. There you go. You commissioned a piece called Meat March. Is that what it's called?
Meat Parade. Meat March.
Hello and welcome back to Band Yap. My name is Alexa Sanchez.
And I'm Jose Sanchez.
I always have the hardest time saying my own name. And we have an absolute queen here today. We have Kim Shuttlesworth. Hi, Kim.
Are you guys frozen?
No, I hope not.
I hope not.
Are we?
Frozen. Hold on. Y'all are frozen for me. Hold on.
How good was Frozen, by the way? Like, Frozen was like an absolute bop there for a hot second.
The music was
I
good.
definitely watched the making of it on Disney, the behind the scenes of making Frozen, and I would tell you, watch it.
Oh, we're going to have to go do that.
It is spectacular.
Well, like, I played it in a concert band, and I was just like,
You did?
Yeah, I played it when I was over at Robinson, and I tell you what, the rhythmic stuff in there, my kids were not ready for. They're like, there's so many ties. I'm like, yeah.
The pop stuff is always tough.
You were Elsa, weren't you?
Definitely. Yes, Queen. Could you imagine?
I want to be
that
the
blue dress?
snowman.
That's who I would like to be too.
Have you ever seen
Right.
on Disney Plus the Olaf like stories?
Oh,
Yes.
so good.
I feel ashamed saying that, but yes, I watched it.
No, own it. No, there's nothing wrong with that, girl.
Those are really good. The Little Mermaid one's my favorite one.
That is very good. If we didn't have children, I would still probably watch Bluey.
That was going to be my next question for Kim. Kim, have you seen Bluey?
Guys, Robert Herrings is calling me because
Get him on the phone.
Can I answer this?
Oh, yes. Go for it.
Sure.
Put it on speaker. Find out.
Hey, Robert. Yes. I'm literally on the podcast right now, and I'm answering the phone because I heard they tried to do a deep dive on me.
Well, and I forgot to respond.
You forgot to respond, or you knew not to tell, or you knew not to tell. You knew not to tell.
Is
yes. I'll call you later. Bye.
Cameo from Robert.
Yeah, is
everywhere.
Is Kim like secretly like a member of the mafia? It's like if you speak, I will come. Like, is that what's happening here?
It could be more like I have stories on them too. It's a mutual thing.
Mutual assured destruction.
We call it the circle of trust.
Yeah. Or eye for an eye. That's what we call it.
Yeah. I'm like, you remember, you can describe me as the black box on the airplane. I won't tell, but boy, know that I have it. I have all the story.
Anyhow, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, this is off to a great conversation. Can you tell us about yourself, your background, education, and just your teaching experience?
You just CIA'd me. Yeah, sure. I'll tell you. Okay. So I'm in my 19th year of teaching. I started in a small town in Carthage, Texas. So I started music. I lived in Carthage until I went to the University of Texas at Austin. And then from there, I stayed in Central Texas for like 20 years to school. And then I taught middle school for 1 year. And then I taught high school. I was assistant for 4. And then director of bands at James Bowie for 5. And then I went to Leander ISD. I opened a brand new school there. We'll never do that again. I love Leander ISD, but opening a school is tough. And then now I'm in Dallas at Capel. I'm in my 4th year in Capel. A little bit about me. I'm a trumpet player. Do I need to say anything else when I say that?
Oh, I mean,
I didn't know that.
you didn't
Yeah.
actually- yeah.
No.
What instrument would you pick me to be?
I don't know. I was going to say a woodwind instrument.
Like clarinet. I know.
Maybe.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not
the corners.
saxophone. My
Yes,
mother
it's
said
the corners.
no saxophone. No, not allowed.
And Mama Shuttlesworth, she don't deal with that.
No, she didn't. Listen, she was a band director for 15 years, half band, half choir. And then she just did choir the last 15 years of her career. And so when I went to go sign up for my instrument, it was like, she's going to play this instrument. It was already told for me. And so that's just what it was. I had a mouthpiece in 4th grade. Like they were already starting me young. So
Honestly, like as a parent who is a band director, if one of my kids was like, I'm going to play the saxophone, I would be like, are you sure?
just don't give them a choice.
Yeah, our daughter has already decided she's gonna play tuba.
Well, yes.
Yeah, and she's 4.
I'm not sure if she's set on that. She
Listen.
usually says she wants to play guitar, and I'm like, Eleanor, that's not.
Let the girl live. Let the girl
let her
live.
live. If she wants to play tuba, I fully support that. She's wishy-washy. So we'll see.
She's 4 years old.
Jonah insistently wants to play the flute. Like very insistently. I don't know if it's going to work for him, but we'll see.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll find out. But like Eleanor playing the tuba, I am in full support of it
That's fine.
because like girl tuba players, like they generally they don't let anybody tell them what to do.
No, they don't.
It's true.
She wants to play tuba because she saw you play tuba.
Daddy's girl.
Right. And she made a sound on it, which was beautiful. But
Doesn't
we'll see.
everyone make a good sound on the tuba?
It was
No, ma'am.
It was
No, ma'am.
yeah. We'll see. But
Fair.
maybe I'll convince one of them to be a percussionist. We'll know.
No, don't you do it.
She's a percussionist.
My whole family's percussion. That's why I wasn't allowed to play. My mom,
No.
dad, and my brother.
That's
No.
fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of just personality in one area.
Yeah, it is.
So Kim, why band?
I didn't want to be a band director at first, honestly. I went in performance at Texas thinking that I was going to switch majors and be a psychologist and then go to law school. And then Kevin Sedatole was like, no, you're a teacher. And so I just did whatever Kevin said. No, I stressed out a lot in college about it because I figured out that I didn't want to practice that much to be a performance major because the practice rooms were disgusting. I just didn't want to deal with it, and the pressure of it was a lot. And so I was like, you know what? I'm pretty decent at throwing parties, so maybe I should go into communication school. Right?
What kind of parties, Kim?
Well, of course, Bible study. I mean,
Bible.
all the things you're supposed to have, right?
Yeah, I mean, we went to a Baptist university and
Network marketing.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought marketing would be my thing, which now probably I could make it as marketing because I'm like a Canva pro.
Yes.
I can Canva
Yes.
anything.
Okay.
Some of those TMEA things that you saw that Mike put out, that was me.
So we okay.
Always a woman behind a man. I'm just saying.
I quote My Big Fat Greek Wedding all the time, and I always say like the man is the head, but the woman is the neck, and the neck can turn the head any which way it wants to. That is exactly what that is.
That's interesting when you say that. Because I think of the whole that's a Greek word from, because my assistant was Greek at Bowie, and every time I'd say something, he's like, that's derived from Greek. And he would just tell me what it was derived from.
Yeah,
or he'd give me Windex.
Yeah, it's like komono, komona means robe, and there you go.
Yes,
I do that all the time. Even with Alexa, I'm like, I'll go like, why you want to leave me?
He says that constantly, and then the other half of the time that he's not saying that, he's like, get out of here. Go away.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, that's basically what it was. And Kevin said you have to be, in order to be a great teacher, you have to be a great musician. And he said you're a great musician, so just be a teacher. And that's kind of where I found my calling, and it kind of just happened from there.
I feel like everyone has a pivotal Kevin Sedatole story, or a lot of
Yeah.
people do, because you have one too.
Yeah, I
You
have
did
one
something
too.
similar to that.
Yeah,
too.
he helped me out when I was in a bind when I was a freshman over at Baylor, and he was my director of bands, and so he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
I babysat his kids while you
Oh
were
my
there.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So there is a story about Kevin Sedatole and the group of upperclassmen at Baylor, and I don't know if this is true, and this is something maybe you can ask him. But I remember
Wait,
one.
can we just preface this with, if he listens to this, I have nothing to do with this. Can we just, Dr. Sedatole, if you happen to come across this podcast, you know that I love you.
Well, I'm
Okay,
going to send it to
continue.
him now. I'm
Now we're
going to
gonna
find a
send it to
way.
him
We're
for
going to
sure.
find a way. But like I can't remember the piece that he was playing or we were playing, and he had this. He opened up the score, and apparently a whole bunch of the guys had gotten together and had taken a photo of them mooning the camera and slipped it into his score.
Oh.
And so when
This
he
happened when you were at Baylor?
Yeah, this has happened when I was over at Baylor,
Whoa.
and this is like his last concert. And so, or something of that nature. And so when he opened up his score, he was like, and he just kind of like put his head down and had to collect himself. But I remember there being just like a giant pause of going like I don't know what it was, but they had slid something into his score specifically, and that's the folklore and the legend behind it.
Do you
is
know
that
what year that was?
that was
You want me to
2000
ask him?
Sure.
I was gonna
You're
go.
gonna text him right now. There's a
I
lot
could go
of
back
live
through
thing.
the programs in the library archive.
That was
and
either
figure out what
in-
piece it was.
Yeah, it was like 2005 or 2006.
Okay.
It was one of those years. And actually, one of the guys is
Lord.
now a director of bands up in somewhere. I can't remember, but he's also he was a percussionist.
A collegiate director of
Yes,
bands?
he's a collegiate director of bands.
Nice.
It was his last concert.
It was one of his last concerts. I just remember them like him just like kind of trying to keep it together.
A photo stuck in your score. You
I wonder if
don't
he even remembers.
have to confirm or deny.
There's just a
Okay, we'll
legend
see if
out
he
there
says
somewhere.
anything.
Okay. So, Kim, can you talk a little bit about the booming metropolis of Carthage, Texas?
You mean the 4A? Listen, we have the second most football state championships. Thank you very much. We're very good at football. So Carthage, small town. I mean, it was, I guess, 3A back then, 3A, 4A. And I grew up there my whole life. My dad grew up there his entire life. My mom grew up in a small town called Van, Texas, but she lived in a small community called Coffex, Texas, where she lived on a farm. And so my childhood was very much so built on family, core values, in the church, playing for the church on Sundays. I played my trumpet all the time. My mom played the piano. Okay, Kevin says yes. Sorry. Okay. Confirmed. To a certain extent.
There's so many things on this podcast already. I don't know.
It's a
Hey,
little
who's on the
unhinged.
podcast? Well, Kim was texting, Kevin Sedatole, and we took a phone
About
call
a
with Robert.
photo in his score.
Well, okay, so that's not abnormal because we definitely pranked each other during concerts. Not Dr. Sedatole and I, but my staff. There would be times where there would be notes left for me in the middle of a movement that were entirely inappropriate. And I would just look up because the staff would always stay to my left because they like to watch my facial expressions. And I'd look up at them and I'd be like, who did? And they're laughing, just cackling, just waiting with the cameras, trying to film it. Anyhow, I'll get us back on track. Small town. And trumpet player kid. And I took lessons at SFA. So I took from Gary Wirtz. He recruited me in like 8th grade. So I took that for a long time. And then during the summer, I would take summer camps everywhere. I would go and play all the time. And then I would take lessons from um, Dr. Rodriguez at Northwestern State University. I would drive, 3 hours to go have a 2-hour lesson and then drive back. And then decided I wanted to go to Texas because it was just a dream. Honestly, it's because I was in Jerry Junkin's summer band camp, which um, I definitely should have never said what I said at the end of the camp, and he's never let me forget it. Because he says to me, at the end of the camp, he says, and we were doing Southern Harmony, okay? Is there anything that the University of Texas could have done to make this experience more enjoyable? And my dumb self raised my hand and said, can we get a free CD of this concert or a t-shirt or something? And he said, Carthage. And my very first day of class at Texas, I was walking down the main hall and I hear, Carthage. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, he remembers, because I was a sophomore in high school when I said that. And 2.5 years later, he remembered and he goes, did you get that CD?
I was going to ask if he brought you a t-shirt.
Yeah.
No, I did get a t-shirt.
Still trap that one, eh? Steel trap.
Still calls me Carthage every now and then. So,
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ask the question. So, what is the lore of Bernie in Carthage, Texas?
It's funny that you asked this because we were just talking about this when I was judging in Region 24 last 2 weeks ago. Okay, so yeah, I knew Bernie. My family knew Bernie. My dad may or may not have gotten a suit that Bernie gave him. She definitely was put in the freezer, and she definitely was put on a trailer, a flatbed trailer, and taken to Dallas.
Isn't that what they do in the movie?
Yep.
Did they do it right? I guess they
Yeah,
did.
they did it right.
Okay.
They did it right. She was not the nicest lady, but she did not deserve to be killed and put with corn.
Corn specific.
It was corn.
Ooh.
So yeah, no, here's the deal, is they managed to get some people from Carthage that I was like, why would they represent? Of course they're not going to get someone like me to represent Carthage, because that wouldn't be good for the movie, because I'd be like, yeah, this is dumb, but so my parents refused to watch it. My staff bought the tickets and we went together. And they're like, is this true? So they're making me talk through the entire movie. And I was like, this is dumb. This is not what happened. This is what really happened. So it was pretty funny. I was entertaining the movie people that were there around us. So it was cute.
Yeah. The opening of that movie, I quote that often as well.
Which, the map of Texas?
The map of Texas
Yeah.
specific.
Behind the pine curtain.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were very aware. But my favorite is like, well, you have the panhandle, and most people forget about the panhandle. And then he just keeps on. He doesn't have anything to say about the panhandle, and I just love that.
That's true.
So, how would you say small school molded you as a person and an educator?
Oh, I loved how I grew up, because in the small town, I got to do a lot of different things. Like, we didn't have a lot of double reads, so I had to learn to play a lot of different parts. I learned to transcribe a lot, and they were very supportive of what it was that we did. I was super involved in school, so it wasn't like, when a kid goes, I'm going to do band and that's all I'm going to do. Like, I was involved in, you name it, and I was involved in it. If it was a club, I was in it, potentially president of it, just trying to do all these things. And I had a great time. I loved my upbringing. I think that it has helped mold me into the type of teacher I am, because Southern hospitality is a lost art now, and so kids get really shocked when you're like, hey, how are you doing today? And that's just second nature to me, to ask a kid how they're doing and actually wanting to know, and we talk a lot about that in class, about when we talk about communication, of when someone says, you have to know if it's genuine or not. You need to really mean like, hey, how are you? And don't just have a stock, I'm fine, thanks, be able to have a conversation. And I think because of the way I grew up and everyone was so friendly and everyone helped each other out. So, like the servanthood part of our job that people don't talk about a lot, how much service we do for others. Um, it just was second nature to me. I didn't think there was any other way to teach. I'm learning that a lot of people didn't get that same opportunity as I did. But I think it's definitely played a huge role in how I approach relationships with people and how you know, I don't like being told I can't do something, or I don't like my kids being told they can't do something. So finding innovative ways, like small town people have to do that. You want to play this piece, but you don't have this, like you got to figure it out. So trying to be a problem solver, I think, is a lot about it too. And the precision side, like being a military marching person, just the precision and the artistry that goes into that, transferring that to the style we do now, but also into the concert band setting. Like, boy, I love a clean march, man. And I know exactly how to get it because of my background.
Do you have a favorite marching show from when you were in high school? Do you remember?
It was all, let's not have some embarrassing ones. So they were all military, obviously. I remember one year, I don't, we were playing them bases because, in military, they break up the marches. So you don't play the same march all the time. And we fell apart because some dude turned too soon. So the band split in half. And all I remember is that the assistant band director, Sharon Bird, Stuart Bird's wife, was sitting with my parents and she hid behind my mom. And she says, tell me when it's over. And then we had third quarter off. So I went to go see my mother and she says, baby, you're going to have to do that again. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, they're going to make you do it again. I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. And she's like, the band was not together, like in two parts of the field. I was like, oh, okay. So I do remember that game specifically. But it's hard to remember the marches only because you play so many of them. And at the time, they piece it together so you don't ever see the top of the name sometimes. But I remember my senior year drill, just trying to make it the best it could be. But other than that, I don't remember.
Were you drum major of your band?
I was not allowed to be.
Ugh, felt that. I wasn't either.
I was told I was not allowed to be.
Yeah.
I was the player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a tuba player. I was an all-state tuba player. My band director was like, "You can't do it," and I did it anyways.
I asked if I could audition, and
I was told no. I was told no. Yeah.
me too.
So now I never tell a kid they can't audition.
Yeah, it's so amazing, like the things you take from like your experiences as a high school kid, especially like with the small school directors, because we've primarily talked to people who are super successful, but they have like grown up in a small school. Like we talked to Taylor Williamson, and he like graduated from Garrison.
Yes.
And then Robert Herrings from McGregor, like all these small places. And now they're like big names in our profession. And you talk about like all their experiences and how it's molded them into like what they're doing educationally. And like, that was something I've taken, and I'm somewhat successful. I don't feel like I'm uber successful, but, like I tell my athletes, I go, I will never put you in the middle of a band and athletic conflict, because I was put in that a whole lot. And that was something that I didn't enjoy and I hated. And that made me have to kind of pick what activity I wanted to do. And I just didn't want to do that. Yeah. And so, I mean, there are always boundaries, but kind of going through that small school makes you kind of a little bit more aware of the difficulty of it. So were you the best musician in your band?
Yeah, probably. There were two other musicians that were great. A clarinet player and a tuba player, and they were both the drum majors, but the clarinet player quit. She made All-State once. The tuba never made All-State, but almost made it. But I was the multi-year All-Stater, so I would say, yeah, it was probably me.
What years did you make All-State band?
I was alternate my freshman year. I auditioned up, and then I made it sophomore year. Junior year, I tried it for 5A, which would be 6A now. I was alternate, and then I got in again. So twice. So 99, 2000, really in 99, 2001, but an alternate every other time.
Wow. So, who would you say has been your well, actually, just go ahead and list them off. Who have you been your greatest mentors?
I mean, first, probably my mother, just growing up with her, being an educator and a music educator at that. When she passed away a couple of years ago, it was like I felt like this huge hole, not just because of a mom, but because, she was the one that would listen to my bands on Sunday and send me my notes. And so not having that set of ears would be something. But biggest in my life, Paulette Rainey is my first boss, and she still checks on me now. And I've had really great bosses / mentors that have gone before me. I had Diane Gariski, and she passed. I had Bruce Dinkins, and he passed. I had Stuart Bird, and he passed. Robert Carnahan was a dear friend and mentor of mine, and he passed away this year in October. So I'm like this, am I unlucky? But no, a lot of influence in my life. I would also say probably um, people that I bounce ideas off of. Mike Howard, even though we're close in age, I still consider him a mentor. Richard Floyd, I spend some time with. Um, trying to get some knowledge from him. So I've been very blessed to have a lot of opportunities with people. Obviously, Dr. Sedatole and Professor Junkin. I don't get to see them as much, but they are very helpful when I ask to, when I need some advice. Steve Davis is also there for me when I need advice. Tim Ray's there for me when I need advice. So I've been very blessed to have a lot of people in my circle that are rooting for me. And so the minute that I think I'm going to fail, they're there to help me say, no, maybe try this, maybe try this. So I've never felt alone. Let's just put it that way.
We've talked so much about community and village. It seems like you have a pretty large one.
Mm-hmm.
So, has there been a moment where you've like, and let's say we're going to be personal here. Is there ever been a moment where you felt like maybe it's time for me to get out of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I talked about this on the Common Time podcast. I talked about, to be really honest, in 2011, when Bruce died, I was gutted. I was 27 years old, taking over a nationally ranked program, and I didn't know if I could do it or not. And so I basically, and the staff that was there, we were 3 assistants, and we picked up one of the assistants from the airport, and we agreed that we would stay. I'd already had a new job, by the way. I was already supposed to be the director of bands at Georgetown High School. And I'd already signed my paperwork, got my keys, my badge, everything. And then 2 days later, he died. And so we're picking up from the airport, and they're like, Kim, you can't go to Georgetown. And so we made a pact that for the next 3 years of our life, that we would dedicate ourselves to our work. So that meant, like, one of them had just gotten married, but we wouldn't talk about kids yet. The other one wouldn't talk about marriage yet. None of us would. Our life was the band hall, and so we committed ourselves too much, probably, to the work, to making sure that we could maintain the program and elevate the program where it needed to go. And then, after 3 years, people started leaving, and that was okay because that was the pact. People wanted their own head job. People wanted to go to middle school, and I was completely okay with it. But I felt alone after they left, because we had been together through this huge, huge loss, and we'd gotten the community through it, and we were doing all these great things. And then we knew that it had to come to an end at some point, and I would be the one left. And that was really hard to navigate personally because those people were my security blankets. And so the work just became a lot, and I constantly felt like they just wanted me to do more. They wanted me to win more. They wanted me to have more opportunities. I mean, I took the group to London. Like, we did worldwide things. We went to Grand National. We did all the things you could ask for, right? And so when I'm 33 years old, I'm sitting there going, Am I happy? You know, what did I sacrifice to get all of these things? Sure, I can look at this regional championship and I can look at all of these things and go, yeah, but when I look in the mirror, am I okay with what I did? And so that's when I thought maybe it's time for me to leave. Maybe I've done everything I can at Bowie, because it was either leave Bowie or get out, I think is honestly what it was, because I didn't know if I could work there anymore. Not because I didn't love it. I love it. I loved those kids. It was so hard for me to leave. I loved those parents, but it was killing me on inside. It was very hard for me emotionally to continue to try to do what I was doing. So I thought maybe I either need to find a fresh start and make it my own way, or I need to figure out something else to do with my life.
And it's like a beautiful thing, but it's such a horrible thing at the same time, because like, and I can speak on this, but like when you find that team dynamic, that it is no longer like a quote unquote team, but it's that family
Mm-hmm.
that like you just feel like they get it. They do things before you have to ask them to do it. They just kind of know. They know what your next step is. They know how you're feeling. They know how to interact with you. Oh, like, oh, he's like, I have my kids in my band who go, they know my mood based on the shirt I picked out that day.
Right.
And like, it's a testament to you to kind of know like some of the writing on the wall,
Mm-hmm.
because like, I mean, mental health is still a huge thing in our profession. We've talked about this before. How many great band directors have left the profession that how many great band directors have ended up divorced?
Right.
Because they've just ignored some portion of their life. And it's kind of the same thing with like, that balance just within ourselves. And it's just like, that's really hard because we want to be great. I mean, have you ever met a band director that doesn't have an ego? There's a long pause there.
Yeah, it's I don't know. In public, probably they don't have an ego. In private, they probably do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's a pride thing. I mean, we all have an ego. It just depends how we strut. What's your plumage look like?
14 inches or 16. You got to get it right.
Oh my goodness. So what is have you ever had a mistake that you've made that's made you a better educator?
Probably a ton. I mean, like, I feel like I fail daily sometimes. I can't think of like a really big one. The latest one I did was I didn't check the PML carefully. And so okay, so this happened. I had to learn a new piece in the last 3 weeks before contest because I read the PML wrong and I had to beg for mercy.
Oh, man.
And so I played a really challenging program to begin with, and then I added on to it. But it's okay now. I mean, we're done. We got it through. I will never make that mistake again.
Yeah. Just for anyone listening, this is our second attempt to talk to Kim, because Kim messaged me last week going, "I'm sick.
Yeah.
Can we reschedule?" And now I kind of I have a better scope on why you were sick.
The stress of everything that I was doing. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I was in the background one time when I was begging for forgiveness. Like, the kids are learning Lincolnshire Posey because I don't know what to play, just trying to figure it out. But it was my program ended up being great. Kids did a great job with it. But let me tell you what, I worked fairly well under pressure. And that was the true testament of that.
So what piece did you program?
Wrong or right? Like, what did I have?
Incorrectly.
Appalachian Spring.
Hey, Robert Herrings really wants to do that piece. So
that's because he knew what happened to me. Appalachian Spring.
And then you pivoted to Lincolnshire Posey?
No, I still played Appalachian Spring. They let me play it.
Oh, okay.
And then I played Stomp, the third movement of Grantham's Symphony. That was kind of hard.
What? Child's Play.
Yeah. So I added American Salute.
American Salute's a bop.
Yeah, it is. Kids loved it.
Do you have a favorite march?
Ooh.
This
If
is
you'd
a
asked
hard
me,
question.
if you'd asked me 10 years ago, I would have said, yeah, I love them basses because that's country kid in me. But now I really do love Hail to the Spirit of Liberty. It's one of my favorite marches. And I kind of love Nobles of the Mystic Shrine.
I do enjoy Nobles of the Mystic Shrine.
That one has a really good triangle roll in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you guys go to Team EA and see the March game?
No, we missed that one. Okay, so like here's the thing. We were toting around a 3-month-old baby at that point in time. So it was like I did follow it on like the Facebooks, the Books of Faces.
Yeah.
And so like we heard it was a lot of fun.
It was fantastic. Next season will be grade 3 literature.
Ooh. That sounds fun.
You know, people texted me they're offended I didn't pick them.
No.
So I said I would. So I've got a list of people that want to be on it next time. Yeah,
that sounds like a fun time. We're gonna have to go to that next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go.
I mean, the kids will be older, and we'll have.
Jose, you better watch out. I might make you do it.
Hey,
You better start studying.
Hey, I do love a good march.
We got to start studying now.
Yeah, apparently,
I'll do it with you.
I have opened up my march literature. I used to hate traditional marches because I'm a tuba player,
Right.
and so, but now that I've gone into 2 straight years of playing Sousa marches, I have I've had a reawakening.
You don't like Boys of the Old Brigade?
I like it now.
He used to like adamantly, no, I'm not going to play a Sousa march. No, I'm not going to play a traditional march. And then he played King
You're just
Cotton.
like a horn player.
Yeah, he played King Cotton, and now he can't stop.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I played the Thunderer this year, and then
you should play Right Forward.
Right Forward.
It's short, but it's really cool.
Oh, well, who did? Oh, I sent this to a group chat.
If Kim tells you, then you have to do it.
I'm locked in
your
now.
Your march is programmed.
The voice
now
of God coming down again.
Oh my gosh.
She has said it, so let it be. Okay. Yep. Well, what's that? Who played that march or had that march commission called Meat Parade?
We don't know, but I'm never playing it. I wouldn't be able to get through it.
I think it was Jarrett Lipman.
We just talked about this the other day. I think.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think he had it commissioned because he had like a lunch pail that had like something.
I'm asking him.
Oh my goodness. Is it
Jarrett Lipman?
Yeah.
You commissioned a piece called Meat March? Is that what it's called?
Meat Parade. Meat March.
Meat March is arguably better.
That's what we need to put on our Instagram.
Yeah, there's a lunchbox.
Yeah. Like, what's better, Meat Parade or Meat March?
I mean, double M. I mean, that's something you can do.
Well, it says the description, a tongue-in-cheek tribute to the Meat Parade lunchbox.
Okay.
Dedicated
I'm going to see what
my
he
friends.
Yes, he says something. It was a special tribute piece.
Carol Britton Chambers.
Are you finding out all sorts of things in this podcast today?
Yeah, this is the best thing ever. I knew my friends.
We're happy we can introduce you to some new
I'm glad
trivia.
I can give you, right? You have all the tea.
We just happen to know.
This is why it's called Band Yap and not Serious Band Podcast.
That's true.
What do you talk about in the podcast side? Meat Parade. Excuse me?
And how that is the subpar in comparison
He
to
says
March.
Mark McGahee and Brian Britt were equally complicit.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to have to talk to these people. I can't say that march. Like, there's no way I would announce it.
Just say it, Kim. Meat Parade.
I'd say a march by Chambers.
Acceptable.
Just like you're not supposed to say hold that pop tune, Hold On, I'm Coming.
Okay, there's a Christmas tune called Nuttin' for Christmas.
We need to stay focused.
I think we're focused on the right things. This is the hard-hitting news that people need to know.
Whenever we like the podcast thing says clean, we're gonna have to change it on this one.
To explicit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
That's gonna be the title of the episode. This is Unhinged.
Unhinged. There you go.
Yep.
Kim Shuttlesworth.
Well,
Unhinged. Oh, I can't wait to see what people they'll be like. Did she talk about this? Did she talk about this?
oh my goodness. So, okay, I'm redirecting. Because you've had, you've been attached to some really, really fantastic programs, and you've made such a lasting impact everywhere you've been. How do you establish the culture going into those band halls?
I think it's kind of like what we talked about with like the small town feel, making people feel wanted and centering ourselves around being kind to each other first. And then I teach, Bruce taught this quote, and then I've carried it with me everywhere. And it is in Ravelli's band hall from Michigan. He saw it the first time. To all those who enter, you're subject to the relentless refining process of music through uncompromising standards. And so we center ourselves around the meaning of that because it sounds like it's a really heavy thing to consider. But I'll ask the kids, what does relentless mean? And it means constant, just right. What does refining mean? Wood chipping, all these things. Okay, so what are we doing? We're chasing something always. And then it says of music, but that could be of physics, of math, of science, of whatever you're like, of being an accountant, of being a surgeon. So we talked to them about we're using the tool that we're using right now is music based. But this quote and this way that we live, because that's how I live, is based on chasing something constantly, whatever it may be, and never giving up what my standards are as a human, which are being kind, are being honest, are being trustworthy, are trying my best, And so when we build a program like that, I don't talk about let's go win this. We have goals and, all that kind of stuff, but it's more like, let's give the best performance we can give to say thank you to the people that have invested in us so much, and I would say that about, any of those recordings from Honor Band and things like that. Those takes were chosen by the kids because they felt that that was their best work. And they didn't care if it won and they didn't care how well it did. They said, this is us making music together and this is the one we want to do. And so having them feel good about what it is that they're doing, I mean, that's the culture right now is, do you feel like how many had fun playing that? How many people had fun doing that today on the field? And as long as they're having fun, it doesn't matter. Results don't matter.
I listened to your podcast, and like I've actually made it a required listening to the one that you do the student leadership stuff. And so I've done it for our leadership team where I've had before where I'm like, you will listen to this podcast and specifically this episode because I want my students to understand that saying. And I've used that saying and I've used it as a reflective moment. So like right now, and I said this, we sat down and we talked with Reed Atkinson, and he talked a whole lot about excellence, just like excellence in everything he approached, and that kind of sat really heavy with me recently. And I told the kids, I go, this is something you're going to hear a whole lot this upcoming year. And I said, we need to approach it with excellence in everything and everything in excellence. And I go, what I mean by that is that when you decide and when we decide to do this thing, it needs to be it needs to be the thing. And so talking with Reed, he said like if we were going to have a water balloon fight, by God, it was going to be the water balloon fight to end all water balloon fights. And I referenced Martin Luther King Jr. and like the street sweeper speech and like how that plays into culture and what we as in a lot of ways as society are starting to lose because like we just can't like focus in and decide to be like great at this thing.
Right.
And like and it takes a toll. Yeah, which, sacrifice is part of leadership, but like that's something that is hard for us to completely understand. But like I've admired like what you've done, because you, everywhere you have been, it has been like a great product. It's been a great representation of what music education is and a student experience.
Mhm.
Which brings me to my next question: is there an experience that you felt like meant more to like your bands than others?
um, there's a couple. I can probably quote them like with each school. You know, um, one of them, two of them were kind of competition based, but not really. In 2011, when Bruce died and I took over, we were doing a show that was called "The Promise of Winter," which is actually spring, right? We were supposed to end the show with Mahler originally, and then Bruce passed away, and I pulled the design team in, and I said, "No, no, 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 we got to do something different." So we changed it back to the Rite of Spring, and it ended. If you go back and watch that show in 2011, it ends with the snowflakes making a daisy flower and us playing "Be Deep" for Bruce Dinkins on the clarinet, just one single clarinet player. With Rite of the Spring was one of his favorite pieces, so we brought that back in to kind of end it off. And we had no idea what we were doing. I think people thought we had no idea. So all we did was just teach. And so we get to UT Arlington, and one of the techs says, "We need to relax." And so he puts on Birdland on his phone, and we're marching, we're walking to the tunnel, and Birdland is playing. And so we go through, and then I'm sitting with we have our first show, and I'm sitting with my parents, and the staff is sitting with my parents because my mom and dad didn't want to miss that for us, like not just me, but for the staff. And they start calling us for winning, and we're like, "What?" Like, I said, "Check the scores. Is someone want to check the scores? This can't be right." And then it comes out we were winning, and then that night, I just watched. Bruce's daughter was in the band. She was a freshman mellophone player. And I can distinctly remember just watching her at the show. You know, it was the first time that we were going to do something that Bruce always wanted to do, which was win a regional and Texas. And then, also it was one of those moments that the staff had poured. I mean, we just started crying. The whole staff did, because it had been such a hard semester. And I'll never forget where I was standing when they started calling those rankings, and all you heard was the Bowie band staff just crying. We weren't cheering, we weren't doing anything. We were just crying. And it was like one of those moments that you'll never forget, because you realize that you did it with these people. You did something really, really tough. And these kids did something really, really hard. And then there's a picture of me and Jordan and someone from BOA that sits in my office. And that is a core memory for me, because immediately when we ended that, she was the first person I went to and, said, "We'll keep one for your dad." It was just one of those very important things. So that would be one for Bowie. 2019, I was in Leander, and it was the first time we made state marching contest. Very young band. I don't know that we had seniors. We just maybe have gotten seniors. And watching those kids, because they didn't come from the typical Leander school. We had to fight for everything. But what was cool about it was that they were just happy to be in band. They said thank you all the time. And it's just, those core memories would be something I will take with me. And then last year, the recording that we chose for Firebird, when we got done playing it, the ensemble just looked at each other and they had tears in their eyes. Were there mistakes? Absolutely. And I said, "How do we feel?" And they, seniors are just tearing up, and they said, "That's it." I said, "Okay, we'll take, that'll be the one that we submit." Just because it had so much emotion, like making music with kids of that caliber. Like, I'll never forget that recording. I know I can remember everything about it, like even conducting it, watching their faces, listening to them, cheering them on with my face when their solo was so brilliant. Just a lot of stuff that went to it. So there's a lot of a lot of memories that go into just the experiences that I have with kids making music.
Yeah, and that's why we do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and those who do this without that in your mind, you, you probably need to find another job. I'll just say it right out, because like, and this is something I tell the kids all the time. I'm a facilitator to the student experience. And I am here to give you every single opportunity to succeed, and I am here to give you every single opportunity to feel something and make it bigger than just the individual.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So
I think it's the difference between, it just depends on who you are, I guess, because some people you would ask that question to and they would just talk about, oh, the trophies that they've won or the trophies that they want to win and that kind of thing. And it's like, well, I want this kid to graduate high school and I want
Mhm.
this kid to have a place to come during the school day and after the school day and feel like they belong and contribute.
Right.
And those are different things, I think.
yep.
When I moved to Coppell, I got this voice message like a year into Coppell, and it was from a kid from Glen. And his grandfather had called to thank me because the kid joined the Navy and was bettering himself. And he asked him why, and he says, because of my band director. And I'm telling you, that was one of those most memorable, like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, is the job hard? Absolutely. Everyone has a hard job, though. We all have hard moments. Everyone's job is not sunshine and roses, no matter how much social media says it is. But it's for little conversations like that, or getting an email from a kid from 10 years ago that was like, I just saw this poster and it made me think of my time we played blah, 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 blah. Those are what you live for. Like, I don't even care. I don't even remember what show. The only show I remember is the 2011 show. But if you ask me what music I played, no clue. Couldn't tell you. Like, that's not important to me. But I remember how the band acted. I remember how well they played together. I don't remember anything else. So,
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about the differences? So like you've said a little bit about Carthage, as far as like it was a different, I mean, country kids, from a country place
Behind the pine curtain.
behind the pine curtain. So could you tell like a difference like culturally between like the community of Austin versus the community of like the DFW?
oh, yes, for sure.
So what were some of the things that might have stuck out to you that are just a little bit different?
I will say this. The community I'm in right now is super thankful. They thank me all the time. They thank their teachers all the time. It is a district where the teachers are appreciated and recognized for their hard work. And the students, while they may be exceptional at their instrument, right, they're still just kids and they still do goofy things and they still get in trouble. And, but they always say thankful. They're always willing to go the extra mile for it. And so is the parent. And they're a little bit more family centered, if that makes sense. Even though a lot of the kids we have, sometimes their parents aren't home a lot because of their jobs, but we make it a home for them. And then in Central Texas, the kids are great, don't get me wrong, but they're not as grateful, if that makes sense. It's more of an expectation that we deliver a great product to them, if that makes sense. That's my opinion. And that was why it was hard for me at Bowie. Not to mean that they came out and said that, but the feeling was that I constantly needed to bring something better, something better, something better, regardless of how I was doing, right? And that's just the pressure of competing at that level in Central Texas, I think. And then I came to Dallas, and sure, it's super competitive up here. I mean, look, you've got a ton of really great band up here. But the difference, I think, in the community for me is that, like, I try to do something and I work really hard, and all of a sudden you get a thank you email. I mean, I didn't get many thank you emails, in my career, and I get a ton here, just constantly.
I mean, the community. I mean, both areas have fantastic bands. Like, was it on Instagram or TikTok or something the other day where we saw a promposal of like
yes.
the kid from Hebron
Yes.
playing
The
last
Helden
year?
Laban,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just like, what is happening here?
That was really cute.
Oh yeah,
But, like,
I've helped with a couple of promposals in my time.
but it's just like, I think part of the thing with Austin and why it might be that way, I think because like the DFW is like an older establishment as far as community versus what Austin is. Because Austin for the longest time was like stay weird, stay, try to stay small, but now it's having this industrial and
Well, it had
technology
a
boom.
massive boom and
Yeah.
growth,
And so
expansion.
now, like, I think it's like industry mindset and business mindset. And that's coming from like the community of Austin and the greater area of Austin, not necessarily like the schools or any of that kind of stuff, but that's just the vibe the city is giving off now.
Well, it's kind
Well,
of like a
yeah.
new identity type situation almost.
Well, yeah, they're trying to figure out who they are again. Capel is a small town. Like if you look up the stats in Capel, it's a small town. It's got like 42,000 people in it. One high school, a ninth grade center, 3 middle schools, 11 or so elementary schools or 13, something like that. We still have 4th of July parades where the band walks down Main Street. We still have all of these very hometown feel, very close, small town feel things that we do. I mean, when the superintendent can call you personally, that's a small town feel. And I think that's why I love it so much, because it reminds me of home. Capel is very similar to home, like neighbors helping neighbors, people being super thankful, coming up and just saying hi. People show up to your events because they just want to say that they support what you do. So, I mean, I think that's the biggest difference for me.
Yeah. And I can see that now that you mention it, I can see the differences in that because like even like Prosper, that is like booming, like they're growing a whole bunch, but like Prosper has always been Prosper. Where did we go that we had sandwiches?
Grapevine.
Was it Grapevine?
Yeah.
Like Grapevines,
They do have a good sandwich shop. The fact that I know what you're talking about is
Wine
crazy.
burgers. Yeah, wine burgers.
Yes.
Yes.
So like that's like that was like a vibe of like, hey, this is still like going down this small community, and that's just what it is.
Grapevine is like that too.
Yeah. And like, but you go into Austin and it is seriously like that's Tesla, and that's more Tesla, and that's more Tesla.
And there's Apple.
Yeah.
Yes, and
And
all the
so,
tech.
I mean, I think you're right.
There's Samsung. Yeah.
TikTok.
Because like if you think about the technology business and those types of things, they're stat driven and like those types of things, and that would make sense that mentality is bleeding over into like the families and into that whole entire atmosphere, which is that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing.
It's just different.
It's different. Yeah, it's just different. So, which brings me to my next thing. How did the prank war start?
With us?
Yes.
I don't know. I've always been a prankster, and I think Stephen Howard, he did the best. He was the best prankster. And then I just kind of took the lead from there. But it was more like just trying to make light of how busy our life was. So anything you can do to be funny, we were trying to do it. Like the other day, I don't know if you remember from my podcast, like Riaz started putting ducks in my office and I didn't notice it. Yellow ducks, 200, right? But then this guy snaps, and his wife's name is also Kim. He thinks he's snapping his wife and says, all right, 198 in here, only 2 more to go in her car. And that goofball sent it to me. So I knew. And I wrote him back and I said, did you mean to send this to your wife? He was so mad at himself. So what I did was I got 400 army men, toy army men.
I do remember this. Yeah.
Yeah. And 200 glow-in-the-dark ducks, right? Some seniors helped me do it, decorated his office, whatever. Then Brandon Slovak thought he was going to be funny, and he says he's denying it, but he super glued some of those ducks. So they're still there. So the other day, I was trying to clean up my office, and so I started taking all the ducks down, and then I was like, where am I going to put all these ducks? Well, Riaz's backpack was open, so I just started dumping them all up in his backpack. And then we get to some clinic, and all of a sudden kids start bringing me ducks. I said, no, you can tell them take them back. I think I might have one more prank up my sleeve, but I'm not going to talk about it in case he's listening. But there might be one more prank coming up at the end of the year. We'll see. Let's see if I can pull something off. But I always try to do something.
Do you have a favorite prank you have pulled off?
Oh, the Mo shirts is definitely my favorite. Where I did the I behind his back, I had his face put on a shirt and called it Mo's Mates, and then put his name on the back. And I got over 200 orders, man. And then on spring concert day, all these kids start walking in with it, and I'm hiding in the principal's office because she has one on too. And there's a video that I cannot put on anywhere because it is explicit. But basically, I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he's bleeping me. And but yeah, that's probably my best one. And then at the spring concert that night, parents are coming in with a shirt on. So that's probably my best one, is getting the Mo Mate shirt and him just seeing his face everywhere.
That's well orchestrated.
Thank you. Thank you.
That reminds me of, is it Scott's Tots?
Yes.
From The
You talking about The Office?
Yes, The Office. That's one skit that I was like, is Mo gonna like sponsor everybody's scholarship to college?
Right.
Sending everybody to college.
There was a picture that was floating around of one of our assistants that Steven had made that said, "Don't F it up." And you would pull like your you'd be conducting, and all of a sudden it would just pop up with like a yellow wrench, because there was a yellow wrench was a thing in our office, and it would just get passed around and passed around. Like, we would do stupid stuff like that all the time.
We have a skeleton in our band hall that wears a band shirt.
Teddy Bonesevelt.
There you go.
He wears a sombrero.
Sometimes.
We have piñatas all over the band hall.
Why is that? Was that because of the
I think
Dia de los Muertos?
The Dia show, but also because I'm Mexican.
Well, now they can just be for Joel's birthday.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you know I'm Mexican?
This is news to me.
I got honored at an NHS thing.
Yeah.
And the person honoring me go, "Oh, Mr. Sanchez, you can't miss him because, the large bearded Mexican who's blind." I'm like,
blind?
I'm not blind. That's what I took away from that. Not the large bearded Mexican, but that I'm blind.
What'd they try to call you?
I know.
I'm just like, I'm not blind.
Out of all the things they said.
I mean, I am large. I am Mexican.
Do you want to hear an embarrassing moment about me?
Absolutely.
Speaking of, when I was a freshman going to Texas, we used to get emails from our section leaders for Longhorn Band. And let's just say that I'm a very naive person, right? I'm very gullible still to this day. I'm still very naive to this day, even though I've lived a good life. And I got so confused because I'm not really proud to say this, but I got an email and I freaked out. And my mom's like, "What's the matter?" And I said, "Jesus wrote me." Because I read it as, he said, "Jesus told me I needed to work on my marked time." And I was like, "Jesus told me to work on my marked time." And my mom was like, "You idiot, that's Jesus." And I was like, "Oh."
I say, Kim, you didn't spend a lot of time in South Texas, eh?
No, I did not. It was I'm telling you, it's not my proudest moment.
Kim's like, "How did he get my email address?"
Exactly. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love you, Lord."
I promise I'll do better.
I was like, "I will work on my marked time." It was too sharp. It was not relaxed enough.
What are your feelings about Taco Bell?
I do love the cheese dip though.
That cheese dip is fire.
That's about it.
What's your favorite Mexican food?
My favorite Mexican food would be I really love sour cream enchiladas.
Yes.
That's probably my favorite, next to a chicken quesadilla.
Ooh. Do you have a favorite food spot in the greater Austin area?
Austin.
The greater, yes.
Okay. This is my fat kid about to talk, right? Best ice cream joint is not Amy's.
Everyone will tell you Amy's.
The best spot is in Cedar Park, Texas, and it's called Scoop and Score. And it has Grater's ice cream. It is the only place in Texas that serves Grater's ice cream. It's from Ohio. It is by Vista Ridge High School in a little shopping center. Best ice cream. Every time I go to Austin, I stop at that place. And then the best restaurant, I really loved Hula Hut when I was a kid, when I was there. Probably one of my favorites.
I think Robert and Taylor both said hula
Yes.
hut. I think. Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
you're
did
right.
they?
Yeah.
It was very typical, I guess.
It's okay.
Birds of a feather.
Yep,
Yeah.
flock together. Wow.
It's true.
Is there? Do you have a favorite food spot in the greater DFW area?
I like Hanabi sushi. No, Sushi Hadan. That's what it's called, not Hanabi. Hanabi is a game. Sushi Kadan is the place to eat. I love that place. That's really great. I love to go there. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I like? I like this place up by me in Flower Mound called Hillside Grill. It's really great. Just everything. It has really good fish. So
Ooh. We should go try some of those places.
I know. That's why I keep on asking.
Do you
is
have
all you
because-
have to do is call me. I
we
will
should
take you.
go.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be
Well,
there.
so Alexa's sister and brother-in-law, or sister and brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, they're both air traffic controllers in
nice.
DFW.
They live in Frisco.
Well, there's great places to eat in Frisco too, but yeah.
Yes. That's what
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. What is your favorite like DFW?
I don't know
restaurant?
if I have a favorite one. I don't go to DFW
We've
enough
been a few
to.
times.
A few times.
Like Haywire is pretty good.
yeah, I like.
Oh, I
Hawaii.
do. That's the place down by the Meyerson, right?
We've only been to the one that's at Legacy West.
Okay. Yeah, there's one downtown by the Meyerson that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't spend a lot of time up there. At least whenever we do, we're generally
like
confined to a
family
house. Yeah, it's
stuff,
family
yeah.
events. It's not like we go out there like woo.
There's some great stuff up at Grandscape and right at the Colony.
See, that's what we should do is we should go with Kim.
7 Doors. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Let me know
that-
how many people.
I don't know
Okay.
if we'd ever come back. That's
Like me and you can just drop the kids off and then we will go with Kim.
that
Yeah.
sounds like a
And
great
Kim will
time.
lead us.
So okay, so Kim, what do you do to unwind when you're not banding?
Okay, you ready?
Yes,
Mhm.
Color.
That is respectable.
that is totally fine. We have colors on the table right now.
I'm like a legit color. I'd like to tell you that when I was 5, I won the Eckert's coloring contest. So
Okay.
I wear that with pride.
Records. I haven't thought about that in a while.
Yeah, the
Wow.
pharmacy.
Yes.
Exactly. I won it. Small town. I won it.
Oh my gosh. What
And
an
so-
honor.
Yeah, exactly. So when someone says you can't color, I'm like, let me tell you about this time I was 5.
Do you have the cool like pencils and markers?
Yeah, I do. Don't
Mhm.
ask me how much money I've spent on coloring books. And I have different types of coloring books. I'm really into the floral stuff. And then I will color something and I'll give it to my friends. Like I'll
Aw.
go have lunch with them. I'll be like, look what I colored for you.
That's so sweet.
It's a thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll bring
that's
you
cute.
some if we meet.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
that was one of my favorite things. So like I used to work for the recreational facility. I still do
I was about to
on
say
Baylor's
used to.
campus. But like every Halloween, they have a coloring contest at the front desk.
I want to enter.
That was like
You
always
should-
my favorite things to do. Maybe that's something you need to do like right after marching contest is like have a coloring contest within your band and have like a vote off. Like to where
Shading is
everyone-
important.
Yes, it is very important.
I'm not good at coloring.
Same thing with bordering. I mean, I know a thing or two about borders.
So, okay, our daughter is like, she's gotten not in trouble at school a few times, but she's had like a few meltdowns at school because at the end of the day, her teacher a lot of times does coloring contests and she has to win. She
Yeah.
just like it's like, within her. She has to win. And so there's a couple times she didn't win
Can y'all see that?
and it was a problem. That is beautiful.
That's some of my work. I take pictures of it too because I'm really proud, you know?
You should send it to me or to us, and I'll put it on our Instagram
There you go.
so
I'll
that
send you
everyone.
my best one.
Yes, please, and everyone can appreciate. We can put it as even the cover art for the episode.
There we go.
That'd be beautiful.
Now you're speaking my language.
There
we can
go.
have Kim as Bob Ross.
Oh
I mean, that's pretty good with the grapes.
yes,
That is good. Oh my,
that's what we'll do.
multi-talented.
This is what we're gonna do. Kim is gonna be Bob Ross, and the canvas is gonna be one of her colorings,
Absolutely. I'll be happy to show you.
some of her art.
That'd be great.
I can't wait.
Oh my goodness.
I got you guys.
This podcast is so all over the place.
Oh,
Wow.
I like that one.
No, seriously, like you should have a coloring contest with your kids and like find out.
We need to get Kim to do Zoom coloring lessons with Eleanor
Absolutely.
because her mother is not cut out for it.
Neither.
But Kim is.
Yeah.
I got it. Listen, I love it.
Maybe you should have like you know what? That's what you need to do for like Team EA is a coloring session
color
with Kim.
Do you know, during COVID, I used to tell my kids on Fridays, I would give them a grocery list and I would teach them how to cook on Fridays
Oh, that's so
via
fun.
Zoom.
Oh, that is
And they
so
would just
fun.
show up and we would eat together. And the parents were like loving it because they're like, you're teaching my kid how to cook something. I was like, you're welcome.
That's fun.
You know, yeah.
That's really fun.
Oh my goodness.
I love that.
Is there any advice you would give to young band directors?
Don't quit. I'm just kidding. I said this on a different podcast, but it's so strange to me that now people go to school not to find their meaning for life and craft. Like when I went and when people before me went, it was, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to perfect this and I'm going to spend this is going to be my entire life's work. Right? You think about people like Richard Floyd and you think about all these people that have lasted so long. It's because they've made it their life's work. Like that's what their mission was and things like that. But now we're in a society where they're like, what is my first job going to be? What is my side job going to be? What's my second job going to be? And it's hard because I worry about the state of education and also music when we're losing really great educators because they think that they can't make it their life's work anymore because of this or because of that. Because they're not recognized enough or they're not getting paid enough. And all of that stuff is true. All of that stuff is true to certain stuff. But we can't be in it for just that all the time. Or else the country would be even worse than it might already be. And so I hope that young people out there trying to be band directors will realize that it's worth trying to make it your life's work, because when you try to make something your life's work, it's not always going to be pretty. It's going to have trouble. It's going to go bad. You're going to fail. You're going to fail more than you succeed, but you're going to get up the next day and try. There is not a day that I haven't been really thankful that I've been a teacher. Even with all the turmoil that I've had, in my career and the passings of lots of important people in my life, I still wake up every day and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. Could I go do something else? Yeah, probably. I probably could. But do I think that it would be my life's work? No.
Yeah. Is there any advice you would give a young Kim?
Don't stay in the band hall and try to find a husband.
Girl, you don't need no man.
Well, not anymore, I guess not. But listen, if you're out there, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you know how I do? Well, I
Talent Connect.
Yes,
yeah.
I do the Talent Connect posts with like the headshot and like the qualifications. I'm gonna build one for Kim.
Listen,
Talent Connect.
that's funny. I would probably tell myself that I could be just as good as I want to be if I just did it a little smarter. Stop overthinking it and just be more efficient. That's what I would tell younger Kim, is that like the longer you stay in the band hall does not equal the better you're going to be.
Preach, sister.
The quality and the trust that you build with your kids, that they will believe what you're saying and the stuff that you're saying is quality, then results will come. And if you don't know, ask.
That's solid, right? I've told the staff this, and this is something that I need to remind myself, and I need to remind them again, is that when you're done for the day, you're done for the day. Yeah. Like it is okay for you to go like, I'm tapped out. Like, and if you need to leave the band hall and you need to go. Like, don't stay past your threshold.
I took 2 days off. I mean, I didn't go to school today. I was just exhausted, and I'm not going tomorrow because I'm tired and I've been sick, obviously. But sometimes if my best self, I have to take care of it. And so I don't feel bad about taking a day off anymore. I used to never take days off, ever. When I went to Glenn, I had like 97 days. Yeah. So now I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming in today. Like the band will survive. It can't be broken in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day, and we're not going to tear down Capel Band in a day.
What is the correct pronunciation of the school you work at?
Capel?
Capel.
What did you think it was?
Well, no, I've heard. I've heard Capel. Capel.
It just depends on what side you live on, I guess. I don't know. Capel is what I call it. It's not Capel, and it's not couple. It's not couple.
Couple.
Couple. It's not couple either. It's Capel.
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 There you go.
People would fight you.
I think it's important to remember, and I see this a lot, like, because I get a lot of like targeted like mom stuff, but like you can't pour from an empty cup, and at some point you don't have anything left to give, so you have to take care of yourself so that
It's
you
true.
can continue to do the things that you love and pour into others.
All right, Kim. I have some rapid.
Jose's like edging
I
closer to me.
I gotta.
I know, I can see this happening in front of me right now.
Gosh.
All right, I got some quick fire questions for you.
Oh, I love this game.
Okay, so there's going to be just really, really as fast as you can. Okay, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, or Ariana Grande?
Taylor Swift.
Favorite rom-com?
Favorite rom-com. Pass.
Oh, we have a favorite rom-com?
No one's ever done that.
Oh my
before.
goodness, we talked about My Big Fat Greek Wedding and everything.
It's probably the latest rom-com I watched. Listen, I love things like I don't know.
The confidence with which Kim said
Said
pass.
Oh my god! Well, you know what's the one I feel like is underrated?
I thought these were rapid fire.
I'm just sorry, I'm derailed again. Definitely, maybe
I don't love that
with
one.
Ryan Reynolds.
You just love Ryan
I
Reynolds.
do love
That's
Ryan
all
Reynolds.
it is.
No, not for me. Maybe Love Actually. That's a cute one.
Okay, now you're.
That's
speaking
very
my
stock.
language.
It's
No,
a
no,
good one,
it's a
though.
great one. Is pineapple acceptable on pizza?
Absolutely.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Toilet paper over or under?
Over.
Which Twix, the left or the right?
Left.
Who is the king of sodas?
Coca-Cola.
Is a black belt acceptable with brown shoes?
Absolutely not.
What's your Patronus? What is your Patronus?
What is that?
Harry Potter.
Oh, I'm a say the names again.
What, you know,
It's an animal.
it's the thing that they shoot out at the Dementors.
The Patronus.
The Patronus.
I thought you were asking me what beer I liked, so
That's acceptable too.
Okay, which house are you in?
Gryffindor.
Sousa, King, or Fillmore?
Sousa. Come on now.
Favorite stand tune?
Dance Again.
Worst stand tune?
The Horse.
What word do you hate hearing the most?
Whatever the children think is funny these days. Like the
Skibbity.
skibbity. Yeah, like things that aren't actual words.
Who do you text the most?
So far, she's texted Jarrett Lipman, Kevin Sedatole, and Robert Herrings.
You know who I probably text the most with is Sally Bowles, because she texts me every single day, good morning.
Oh, that's so
sweet.
nice.
So probably her along with Jerry Miller and Jana Harvey. Those are really close seconds and thirds.
What is your favorite store?
Favorite store? I shop a lot at Dillard's.
Love Dillard.
I do love Dillard's. If you had a spy code name, what would it be?
Ooh, probably like Sly Fly. Something that rhymes.
Do you have a hidden talent?
A hidden talent. I used to be a twirler.
Wow.
Okay, Carthage.
All right. If someone was to play you in a movie, who would it be?
Play me in a movie? It'd have to be someone with a southern drawl at least. Or no, who's the funny lady that was in she's really funny. Melissa McCarthy? I think she'd totally be me well.
You know,
Yeah.
the Southern draw is like a very specific, like the right person has that. Have you Sweet Home Alabama? That is another good
You love
rom-com.
that movie.
I do.
That, you know what? I'm going to change my answer. That definitely is my favorite.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Jose
There's-
loves it.
Yeah, there's a baby in the bar.
Oh yeah, I made a reel with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's my rapid fire question.
I haven't heard.
Can I
Taylor.
ask y'all one question?
Sure.
Yes.
So I always ask all my guests or my people in interviews, who is your Mount Rushmore of educators?
Like personally impacted us, I guess.
Yeah, like we've gone all the way from the country to Texas, and now it's like if you had your own Mount Rushmore of mentors, who would your Mount Rushmores be?
I feel that as far as marching band goes, I think that would probably have to be like Jeremy Spicer. And the reason for that is because he has made a large impact culturally in the marching arts. Just because he helped created Sassy, and I felt like that was the first like real student leadership push. And so like what he's done with that and has kind of like molded a lot of that idea. And I know there's several other organizations now, but I feel like he was the first one to really push that, and I think that was something pretty important. As far as band and like the classic literature, Richard Floyd, just because when I think Texas band, he's one of the first people that comes to mind.
For sure.
I was thinking more like for me personally,
Oh.
as like a person, mine are probably like Eric Wilson.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
Probably Todd Behan. Brian Harris, Ken McClellan, and
There's only 4 on Mount Rushmore.
Okay, then that's it, right? I said 4.
Like in my personal life, it would be Kevin Sedatole. It would be Eric Wilson, David Graves, who is my tuber professor, and then the fourth one.
This is a hard question.
Yeah, that is a hard question,
right?
You went very like big picture.
Well, yeah, of course, because those they're like for me and the way I thought about that, there is a lot of like no Texas band for what it is if it wasn't for Richard Floyd.
Yeah.
And like I don't think the marching arts, as far as Texas marching arts, would be where it's at if it wasn't like a big push from like Jeremy Spicer and Mike Howard and those guys, because like hearing and seeing some of the things that they did with Vandergrift when they just opened, and that story and what it created is like crazy. So that's where I went with that idea. But I
named 3.
I think the fourth one would probably be my high school band director, just because he molded a lot of who I am and just kind of molded a lot of my philosophy and kind of how I broke off with that.
Yeah.
Okay, who's your Mount Rushmore?
I feel like mine changes a lot, but if I had to pick 4 influential people that I look to, I'd pick Amanda Drinkwater. She set the stage for a lot of stuff. I'd pick Jerry Junkin, Kevin Sedatole, and then my 4th would probably be my mom. Probably would be, but those are my personal ones. Yeah.
It's hard to pick like.
Yeah, 4. just 4.
There's so many people that have an impact on you, and even if it's just like in a really tiny way, it's just like, well, it's hard.
I mean, just like like your staff, like you said that Riaz has been with you for 10 years in some capacity. Like that experience and that relationship is like, I will never understand that relationship. I can relate to it because of my relationship with my previous assistant, Victor Garza, and like what that relationship has meant for me. But like you've been with him for almost 10 years in almost a working capacity. And so that I can only imagine what that's like.
Yeah. I mean, I've been fortunate to have assistants for a very long time. I mean, Team Bowie was together for 9 years without a break. You know, there was just a lot that went into what we did.
Yep. Is there something you wish you could bring back? That when I say that, I'm talking about like anything in the world, from your childhood, from band directing, from being a student, just anything that would bring you joy.
So I saw this question when you emailed it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what would I say? If I could bring back anything, I would bring back John Philip Sousa to let him see what his work is like now.
That is a good one.
That is
We
good.
can Captain America him.
Yeah. I
Well,
would like
like-
to have a conversation with him because he was an inventor,
Yeah.
essentially.
I wonder what he would think. I wonder what he would think if he saw like the Coppell marching band.
He'd be like, why is this not one of my marches?
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
is that giant piccolo on the field?
Where are you guys going?
Listen, that piccolo has done a lot of good.
Where did that thing end up?
It's in my office.
It is your office.
I need to see your office because ducks and piccolos and
Listen, it's a treat. If you guys are in Dallas, I'll invite you. Listen, we're getting a new facility, so I can definitely let you come see that.
Yeah, I've like I said, I listened to your podcast and I've heard this some of the stories you've told, and I've been like the key story for one. That was one. I've heard the Mo's mates. I've heard. Oh, what was one of the other funny ones that you were explaining?
The day that we were filming, and then we had to go set up for UIL, and then 3 days later we came back and finished the podcast.
That one, yes. My favorite one was when you had the wrong shoes.
Oh my gosh, my feet hurt so bad that day. But yeah, never make that mistake again.
Yeah, wrong shoes. Then you had one with your kids were on, and then you did one with the Flomo people.
That was so funny. That game was really funny that we played.
And
Who knows their assistant best?
Oh my goodness.
I had Sally and John Bowles on there. We've had a lot of really great times on that podcast.
No, I mean, I've enjoyed your podcast. Plus, y'all are just funny.
I was thinking about this
so,
earlier, but I've listened to Kim's podcast so much, and then it's kind of surreal to have Kim's voice on our podcast.
You guys are a mess.
Kim, if you could be any animal, what would it be?
Any animal?
Yeah.
Well, a koala bear.
That's Jose's favorite.
That's my favorite animal.
I love those things.
So I used to, and I don't think I've ever talked about this on the podcast. So the way I would battle performance anxiety is that I had a little stuffed koala bear that had Velcro on its hands, and so what I would do,
you used to keep it in your car.
No, that was
a different one.
Yeah, that was a different
one.
That
one had magnet hands.
Yes, that one had magnet. So I would put that little koala bear on the first tuning slide of my tuba before I went in for auditions. And what I would do, I would rub its ear before I started playing, and that would calm me down a little bit.
This is
hysterical.
hysterical.
You know how we were just talking about who knows their assistant best? I've lived with you for how many years? Like over 10 years.
Yeah.
I've never heard you say that before.
Oh, you never heard me? Yeah. So if there's an
I don't want to get in your marital drama right now.
Girl, we share an office. Let me tell you, sometimes there is drama.
You're like fighting today in the office.
Yeah,
and a kid like opened the door.
Like, get out.
We're like, have you ever heard of knocking?
Mom and dad are fighting. Yeah, you never.
It was a brief moment.
Yeah, I have a couple of stories. One that like there's a recording of the ATSFC All-State Band, and somewhere a video recording, and you pan over, you can see that little koala bear behind my chair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would always take it off for like performances, and I'd tuck him right behind my chair.
How professional of you.
That was one of the things I used to do. But this is also probably the same concert where my crazy aunt army rolled onto the stage to take a photo of me in the All-State Band, where it was over at the Scottish Rite. I posted this on Brian Sowers, another East Texas person. Yes. Brian Sowers Facebook, because he had a birthday yesterday. Yesterday?
Yes.
He had a birthday yesterday. And do you know Brian?
Yes.
So when we interviewed him, we found out when he puts happy birthday on people's Facebooks, it's the way he spells it. Happy birthday. It's because of the 50 Cent song.
In the club.
And that's where it comes from.
I would never admit to my kids that I know that song.
So like that's where it comes from. And I went off a post. I'm like, does anybody remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
I never watched Celebrity Deathmatch.
No, same.
Is this what you're going to bring back?
Yes, I would bring back Celebrity Deathmatch.
So Kim said John Philip Sousa.
And I said Celebrity Deathmatch. Yeah, it's
I think we just set our boundaries.
Yep. It's well, I'm a tuba player. Yeah. Man. It was claymation. Like it was great.
Do you
That's
remember
funny.
Kablam?
Huh?
Kablam?
Yes, I remember Kablam.
I do remember that one. Yeah,
Oh man,
ridiculous.
I miss Saturday
What
morning
about Space
cartoons.
Ghost Coast to Coast?
I have
That
no
dude
idea what you're
died.
talking about.
He just
Space
died.
Ghost Coast to Coast.
Guys, I'm older than y'all. Get it together.
That's an old
No,
show.
I don't think so.
I'm 39.
I'm 42.
Oh, 3 years, man. Pish posh, pish
And look
posh.
how much more successful she is.
Stop. Stop.
Kim, do you have a favorite memory as a band director or a student?
Favorite memory as a student is walking out in Carnegie Hall, being the first one on the stage at Carnegie Hall in college when we were playing, and just looking at the place, thinking like, how did I get here? You know, and then it went on to have Dan Rather in my booth because I was playing a surround sound trumpet part to Circus Maximus, and Dan Rather was in the booth with his wife who'd had a little bit to drink, and so she kept messing with me, but it was fine. I got through it. And he was like, I'm really sorry. So I have a picture with him about it. So
Was she like, can I press the buttons?
yeah, she was like, what is this? Why's your light on? I was like, because I'm
What are
about
you
to play,
looking at?
lady. Yeah, exactly.
funny.
And then as a teacher, a favorite moment. I don't know, any moment I spend with kids. Those are probably my favorite moments.
Do you have any favorite memory of the UT marching band?
Besides getting pooped on by the Aggies,
Excuse me?
That sounds like something that would happen.
it's actually on YouTube. So in 2006, I was the drum major of Longhorn Band, and that's the year we won the national championship. We were going to A&M. They were not having a very good season. They would bring in the whole cavalry, and they had, freshmen that hadn't been doing well that week, picking up the poop and putting it in a burnt orange wheelbarrow. And anyhow, the guy decided to, instead of putting it in the wheelbarrow, he threw it up and it landed on me with some other people. So he got like arrested for like biohazardous terrorism or something crap like that. Anyhow, but you YouTube Aggie poop, and it's an old video, and that's me. And then my boss Bruce at TMEA, when I was trying to find a job my first year, he would walk me down. You know how some people will walk you down TMEA, like down the convention exhibit hall, and introduce you to everybody. He'd be like, she's the one that got pooped on. I was like, can you please stop introducing me as the kid that got pooped on? And he's like, it's a great way for them to remember you. I said, I would hope my work would speak for itself, but okay, fine. I got pooped on.
That sounds like something that would happen
Yep.
at an A&M game. Luckily, I avoided all that business. Jose, you had to go to Kyle.
I had to go to Kyle Field, and that was the worst.
We didn't play them anymore by the time that I was
It was awful.
there.
So that's probably one of my favorite core memories, along with winning, obviously, the national championship.
That's second to
poop.
Yeah.
Is there a performance or award that means more to you than others?
A performance, it would be in 2012, 2013, Ryan George wrote a symphony called To All Those Who Enter for Bruce's passing. And conducting that with those groups of people was really important to me at Bates. So it was kind of like a mesh of my hometown, a mesh of what I felt like, and then paying tribute to him. That would be like a performance I would remember forever. And then an award might be in college, your peers voted on a person that they felt represented and did the most service for the organization. And I won that 2 years in a row. And that's probably my most proud, is when, the service that we do, my peers thought that was something that was admirable.
Do you have a bucket list piece of music?
Oh, absolutely. Bucket list. Well, I just did one of them, Appalachian Spring. And I did Firebird the year before that. And I did Pines Run the year before that. But I would like to do Egmont Overture as a bucket list. I'd like to do The Rite of Spring. I'd like to do I'm so scared of it, but the Sinfonietta, Ingolf Dahl Sinfonietta, is one of mine that would be a bucket list piece for me. What else would be a bucket list? I'd like to do Copeland Symphony too, things like that.
Yeah. Child's Play.
That's a lot of good.
Yeah. It's not, Night Fury or anything.
Alligator Alley.
I like a good Russian sailor's dance.
It's good. I've been very fortunate to play a lot of great music.
It's just like you're naming off this stuff, and I'm just going like, oh. it's
all good stuff.
I mean, it's all like fantastic stuff, and I'm just like, I can imagine the scores, and I'm going like, oh, there's so many notes.
You just got to dream big. Verda Harrington told me my very first year of teaching, she says, there's one word you should remove from your vocabulary. And I said, what is that? And she said, the word hard. Because when you use that word, you're limiting yourself and you're limiting kids. It can be challenging and it can be, it can be tough at times, but they never have to know how challenging it is. That's why she taught the tubas how to play them basses in 6th grade. She just believed that they don't know what they don't know. So if you sit there and you go, we're going to play this, and they have no idea, it's your job to then teach them how to get there. And if you believe you can do it, then they can do it.
That's something I've been like really preaching to the 6th graders. Like, honestly, because like I've been taking this approach also is that like, I'm a 6th grader, just a teacher. And if I believe things, and I tell them all this all the time, I'm like, it's not hard. When you say it's hard, you're the one making it hard.
Right.
It's just air.
Just remove the word.
Yeah. And so like, this is just an opportunity for you to better yourself. I said, this is an opportunity. Yeah. Always an opportunity. I said, like, It's not hard. It's just an opportunity. And so like, that's something that I'm having to train myself consistently to tell myself like, this is an opportunity. And so like, we're going to have I'm going to have a sit down with Evan Van Doren, and I'm going to take him through my rehearsal process. And I'm going to give him the opportunity to tell me how I have the opportunity to be better.
He's great at that. Let me tell you what.
Yeah. And so like, because I've only heard stories of like how like efficient and like strategic and detail oriented that like him, and then even more so Katie is apparently.
Oh yeah. Listen, Katie comes in my band hall a good amount of the time. And even though we're best friends, I'm like, I thought I taught you that, but you are definitely teaching me that today. So it's one of those things.
If you could have any one clinician in your band hall all the time, who would it be?
It would be Katie. Is she my best friend? Why would I not want to work with my best? Or let me rephrase that.
So you're about to make a whole bunch of people upset if you call her.
It's true. If I could have, oh, man, I do love when Katie comes in. Because I think she's a get in the weeds type of person. But you know who else is like that? Mike Howard. Either one of them I would take on a daily.
If it wasn't band, what would it have been?
Probably a lawyer. I thought I was going to be a lobbyist for a long time, but you're not lawyer for sure.
The Senate or the House right now, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! Can you talk to us about Pumpkin?
My dog. Oh, she's really mad at me right now. She came in here and looked at me, and then she left. Pumpkin. She was given to me by a band parent in 2013. Because they thought I worked too much, so they wanted me to be able to take care of a puppy so I'd stay home. Little did they know that my boss let me bring the dog to school every day, so the dog just stayed with me all the time. But I met Pumpkin when she was 6 days old, and she held on to my finger, and then the rest is history. She is one of the most spoiled animals you will ever find.
What kind of dog is she?
Boston Terrier.
Oh, those are so fun.
Why Pumpkin?
Yeah. I didn't actually name her. It's a funny story. So one of my dear friends who is also the color guard director at the time, Joey Powell, we both got the dogs together, and he got in a car accident, and he had to have nose surgery because the airbag messed with his septum or whatever it's called. And so I was taking care of him, and he was sleeping on my couch, and he says, we're going to name the dogs today. And I said, okay. And he named Pumpkin because he says that's for not smart dogs. Okay. And then he says, well, what are we going to name your dog? Because it was a boy. We're going to name him Jojo. And I said, well, Joey, that's your nickname. He says, exactly. Mind you, he was on medicine. So he's like, no. So when you say Jojo, both he and I come. It's genius. And so that is how, so her name is Pumpkin, but we call her P. She answers to P and P Pups, or Princess, anything with a P. But that's how she got named, was a highly medicated surgical patient that named the dogs, and he just kept doing it. And so she answered, but ended up being my dog was the smart one, and his was not as smart.
Well,
yeah, I talked about Alexa's dog.
yeah,
today
I felt
in
really
rehearsal.
targeted by this because you were talking trash about my
I was
dead
not
dog.
talking
Oh, no.
trash. I can't remember how I got onto
I don't
the
know how you
subject
got.
of Mia.
I
Sometimes, I mean,
walked
just like
in.
all of us, we get a little derailed during rehearsal.
I walked in and the percussionist was like, "You was just talking about your dog."
Yeah, I miss Mia. Like, so in our spring concert, we've kind of dabbled in like a static fanfare, and we're with 4A.
Mhm.
Static fanfare. We've done.
That's
We've worked
hard.
on Dance on number 2. We've worked
That's
on that
also
one,
hard.
and then Silverado.
I love that piece. It's so hard.
Me too,
Yes.
it's
So those are the 3 pieces. I'm having to bail on 2 out of the 3. So I had, because it was just, it's
don't have a lot
our
of
concert and sight reading was on like March 6th.
What are
And
you
then we had-
killing?
we're going to kill Dan Zahn and Ecstatic.
You should do Kirkpatrick fanfare.
I do like Kirkpatrick fanfare.
Really quick and easy to learn.
Well, the problem is that our concert is on April 29th.
Listen, I taught American Salute in 5 days. You can do it.
Oh,
Yeah, if she can
oh.
do that, you can do anything. Quit
So,
complaining.
so
Remove
Exactly.
hard from your vocabulary.
Thank you, Alexa.
You're welcome.
Well, okay, I'll look at if we have it in the music library.
Okay.
I'll scan it too if you don't. Just
Oh
text
my
me.
goodness gracious, she's enabling me. So we are playing Silverado, and my French horn players are like, "This is ridiculous." I go, "Oh, but it is a good time."
It is.
Gatesville is also has the largest spur collection in Texas, if not the world. FYI.
The more you
so-
know.
So therefore, playing Silverado makes some sense. And we're doing that. We're playing the William Himes arrangement of Amazing Grace.
Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah, very pretty. And then we're playing a trombone feature called All Aboard.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, it's real cute.
It's
It's real
cute. It's
simple.
just-
It's the train
I don't remember.
train to God's glory, and
It's cute, though.
I'm glad you've decided on your program. My kids are revolting on mine.
Oh
So
no, just play some Jungle Book and call it a day.
we were going to do all of dance movements, and they're like, you normally have really good taste, but this is just not for us.
Wow.
Them fighting words.
Mhm.
Fighting words. Yeah, my
So-
kids like jazzy stuff that just has a little bit more of that element. So I just leaned
yeah.
into it really, really hard. So this year we played Let Me Be Frank With You, and last year we played Melodious Thunk for you.
I love those. Those are great pieces.
So we did that, and so
You
like,
should
our
play
concert-
Jitterbug.
Oh.
Jitterbug. Look it up.
See, this is what we need to do. When it's time
Jitterbug.
to program for UIL, we just call Kim, and Kim says,
I love
"Today,
some.
This is
So
what
my
we're doing."
boss used to give me CDs for Christmas back when CDs were a thing. So I have a collection of over like 400 CDs of band music, and I've listened to all of them multiple times.
Well, like, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't. So we have a Spotify mixtape that we've taken suggestions from our
Mhm.
listeners and from people on
Listener
Instagram, and just any of their suggestions, like, what's your favorite band piece, and they write it in the comments, and we just put it into a mixtape. And so that we've done the same
Oh,
thing
that's
with
good.
marches. We had a March Madness.
I need to add more to the March one. It's not as long as it needs to be.
Yes, and so we've just started that kind of playlist. So
Oh, that's
but I'm
great.
gonna have to add that to it. I forgot where I was going, but yeah, we're kind of condensing in. But I'll try and look.
What
at we have
you
that
were gonna say? You
Kirkpatrick.
were talking about my dog.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you got all into on this
sorry.
because you're talking trash about my
I
dog.
wasn't talking trash about your dog. I love Mia. So Mia was a great dog. She how old was she whenever like
She's
I came into
when
your life?
when you came into my life,
Yes.
she was like 7. Or
She was like
she was
7 and
older
she
already.
passed away when she was what, 15?
Yeah.
So, but Mia was that kind of dog. Like she was like the best dog. Like she was a little dingo looking thing, like a little red fox. And
She was rescued in Addison, Texas, and my sister found her at a rescue. And then my sister took her, and my sister moved to Chicago, and she couldn't keep her, so she gave her to me, and then I kept her for
the remainder of her
13
life.
years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Mia was like seriously like a mafia dog. If she felt slighted in any form of fashion, she
was
would
gonna
just
get
do. She was like if she was that way, and so what she would do is that she would go into like our trash and take one single piece of trash and then put it on Alexa's pillow on in our bedroom, or she would take that piece of trash and leave it in the center of her closet. And she
To
was
leave
just
you a
me.
message.
yes, and that was like her thing. And for me, if I slighted her in any type of way, I got the worst end of it. She would pee on my bath mat. And the
Dogs are
thing is,
ruthless, man.
yeah,
Yes.
they are. And so like I would go brush my teeth and I would step and pee because I just didn't notice it because I was still half asleep. And honestly, the worst thing Mia ever did is when she passed away.
I think she did this on purpose.
She did it on purpose. She passed away on Alexa's birthday.
My dog of 15 years died on my birthday. That's what I'm saying. She did it on purpose. She knew what she was doing.
So awful.
Loyal, but man,
Slightly traumatic.
She was all like, "You didn't give me that last."
You will
treat."
never forget her, and
Well-
she made sure of it.
You know what it was? It was we had twins, and they were what, like 6 or 7 months old?
Yeah.
And she was like, "You went and had kids. That did me in." She felt slighted.
Okay, Kim. Here's the
That's
big
funny.
question. Here's really the big question for you. This is how we signify whether or not you are in or grew up in small town Texas. Okay.
Okay.
Is there a Dairy Queen in your hometown?
Yes.
Okay. Breaking news.
Yes.
There is no longer a Dairy Queen in your hometown.
Oh, did it leave?
They permanently closed the
Permanently
Dairy
closed
Queen
it.
in Carthage.
It was kind of dirty too, so that's probably fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. Do you have a Blizzard order?
Yes. It is what is that? Butterfinger and vanilla.
Oh.
Is there a Dairy Queen in Coppell?
It closed down.
What is wrong with Dairy Queen?
There's one in Highland Village, which is next to Flower Mound.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like
It's good to know.
the soft serve at Dairy Queen is just where it's at. Like for me.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. They started doing a Cookie Monster like thing. I'm a dip cone kind of person though.
I go to Andy's a lot.
We have been to Andy's a few times. It's like further away from us than it should be, but we don't go over there very often.
Yeah.
I like custard though.
I do like custard. If you're ever in Waco, Katie's Custard is a good custard spot.
Okay.
It's a little bit off the beaten path. I mean, I know you have to drive through Waco in order to get to San Antonio and Austin.
That is true. That is true.
So that is, I mean, you can always go around.
I don't. I go straight through so I can visit friends.
But that's all I have.
Okay.
Alexa?
Well, it's been fun.
No, I don't have anything else. Thanks, Kim, for coming and talking with us. And
It's fun. And if y'all are ever in the area, call me. Y'all can stop by. We can hang.
okay, that'll be good. We'll
Open invitation.
All right. We'll take you up on it.
I mean, you should. You should.
Oh no, we definitely will. Don't you better wait and watch out, because if you think we're crazy on the pod, it only gets exacerbated in person.
It'd be a good time, that's for sure.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to start preparing, because I feel like you're gonna ask me to do that March thing, and I'm gonna start studying right away.
Like immediately. You
better get it ready, because I do
Like,
have to have small town representation.
Oh
All right.
man,
Hit the books.
I know.
Jose.
I wasn't a very good college student.
Drop the needle. Get it ready.
Oh,
We'll add to the playlist.
I know.
We'll get you going.
Okay.
All right. Well,
All right, guys. Well, it's so much fun. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for listening to Band Yap. Bye.
We out.